as happy can be. Cha-la! With drumming and laughing and whipping and whapping, we're happy as happy can be. Cha-la!
Short-coated, to beauty devoted, are Marco and I.
Gondolieri, tra-la-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la. Gondolieri, Gondolieri, tra-la-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la, 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 tra-la-la-la. Tra-la. And now to choose our bride. As all are young and fair and dangerful besides, we really do not care a preference to declare. A bias to disclose would be indelicate, and therefore we propose to let impartial fate select for us a mate. Let impartial fate select for them a mate. These handkerchiefs upon our eyes be good enough to bind, and take good care that both of us are absolutely blind. Then turn us round and we will all convene your dispatch. We'll undertake to marry any two of you we catch.
Behold, they undertake to marry any two of us they catch.
Dark and peeping, dark and dreamy.
If you're blinded, truly say so.
All right-minded players play so.
Conduct shady, they are taking sorry criticism of it. Is too much as making fucking conduct such as truly shocking. You can slice or shut your razor. You can slice or shut your razor. You may use it by a shizer. You can see, sir, don't tell me, sir. You can see, sir, don't tell me, sir. Then don't do dramatic piece, then don't do dramatic piece. My papa, he keeps 3 horses, black and white and apple greaser. Turn 3 times and take your courses. Catch whichever girl you may, sir.
My papa, he keeps 3 horses, black and white and apple greaser. Take your courses, catch whichever girl you may, sir.
My papa, he keeps 3 horses, black and white and apple greaser.
I would like the chief to capture. This is Tessa. Rapture, rapture.
Rapture, rapture.
To me, Janetta fate has granted just the very girl I wanted.
Just the very girl he wanted.
If you'd rather change,
This indeed is simple rudeness.
I've no preference whatever.
Listen to him. Well,
come, to Venetia's shores have come, to Venetia's shores have come.
And if never they get back to Spain, they will never cross the sea again. They will never cross the sea again.
Neither that grandee from the Spanish shore, the noble Duke of Plazator,
Nor his grace is staunch and true. You may have his grace is staunch and true.
nor his grace's own particular drum, to Venetia's shores have come, to Venetia's shores have come.
If ever they get back to Spain, they will never cross the sea again. They will never cross the sea again. They will never cross the sea again.
At last we have arrived at our destination. This is the Ducal Palace, and it is here that the Grand Inquisitor resides. As a Castilian hidalgo of 95 quarterings, I regret that I am unable to pay my state visit on a horse. As a Castilian hidalgo of that description, I should have preferred to ride through the streets of Venice, but owing, I presume, to an unusually wet season, equestrian exercise is impracticable. No matter. Where is our suite?
Your Grace, I am here.
Why do you not do yourself the honor to kneel when you address his grace?
My love, it is so small a matter. Still, you may as well do it.
The young man seems to entertain but an imperfect appreciation of the respect due from a menial to a Castilian hidalgo.
My child, you are hard upon our suite.
Papa, I've no patience with the presumption of person is in his plebeian position. If he does not appreciate that position, let him be whipped until he does.
Let us hope that the omission was not intended as a slight. I should be much hurt if I thought it was. So would he. Where are the halberdiers who are to have had the honor of meeting us here, that our visit to the Grand Inquisitor might be made in becoming state?
Your Grace, the halberdiers are mercenary people, who stipulated for a trifle on account.
How tiresome. Well, let us hope that the Grand Inquisitor is a blind gentleman. And the band who are to have had the honor of escorting us? I see no band.
Your Grace, the band are sordid persons, who require to be paid in advance.
That's so like a bad.
Insuperable difficulties meet me at every turn.
But surely they know his grace.
Exactly. They know his Grace.
Well, let us hope that the Grand Inquisitor is a deaf gentleman. A coronet would be something. You do not happen to possess the accomplishment of tootling like a coronet.
Alas, no, your Grace. But I can imitate a farmyard.
I don't know how that would help us. I don't see how we could bring it in.
It would not help us in the least. We are not a parcel of farmers come to market. Don't.
My child, our sweet's feelings. Be so good as to ring the bell and inform the Grand Inquisitor that his Grace, the Duke of Plaza Count Matadoro, Baron Picadoro, and Sweet have arrived at Venice and seek
Demand.
and demand an audience.
Your Grace has but to command.
I felt sure of it. I felt sure of it. And now, my love, shall we tell her? I think so. My child, prepare yourself for a magnificent surprise. It is my agreeable duty to reveal to you a secret which should make you the happiest young lady in Venice.
Secret? A secret which, for state reasons, it has been necessary to preserve for 20 years.
When you were a prattling babe of 6 months old, you were married by proxy to no less a personage than the infant son and heir of His Majesty, the immeasurably wealthy King of Barataria.
Married to the infant son of the King of Barataria? Was I consulted? Then it was a most unpardonable liberty.
Consider his extreme youth and forgive him. Shortly after the ceremony, that misguided monarch abandoned abandoned the creed of his forefathers and became a Norwegian Lutheran of the most bigoted and The Grand Inquisitor, determined that the innovation should not be perpetuated in Barataria, caused your infant and smiling husband to be stolen and conveyed to Venice. A fortnight since, the Nordic monarch and all his Lutheran court were killed in an insurrection, and we are here to ascertain the whereabouts of your husband and to hail you, our daughter, as Her Majesty, the reigning Queen of Barataria.
Your Majesty.
It is at such moments as these as one feels how necessary it is to travel with a full bag.
I, the Queen of Barataria, but I've nothing to wear. We are practically penniless.
That point has not escaped me. Although we are in unstraitened circumstances at present, my social influence is something enormous. A joint stock company under the title the Duke of Plaza Toro Limited has been established for the purpose of working me. An influential syndicate shall supply the capital, and I shall supply myself.
Am I to understand that the Queen of Barataria may be called upon at any time to hear her honored sire quote his below par, or behold in file chapter 11?
The speculation is not exempt from that drawback. If your father should stop, it will of course be necessary to wind him up.
But it's so undignified, it's so degrading. A grandee of Spain turned into a public corporation.
There is every reason to believe that I shall command a handsome premium. If I am issued as a first mortgage bond, that gratifying result is almost certain.
But such a thing was never heard of.
My child, the Duke of Plaza Toro does not follow fashions. He leads them. He always leads everybody. When he was in the army, he led his regiment. He occasionally led them into action. He invariably led them out of it. In enterprise of martial kind, when there was any fighting, he led his regiment from behind. He found it less exciting. But when away his regiment ran, his place was at the foro. That celebrated, cultivated, underrated nobleman, the Duke of Plaza Toro.
In the first and foremost fight, ah, you always found that knight. Ah, that celebrated, cultivated, underrated nobleman, the Duke of Plaza Toro.
When to evade destruction's had to hide, they all proceeded. No soldier in that gallant band did half as well as he did. He lay concealed throughout the war and so preserved his goro. That unaffected, undetected, well-connected warrior, the Duke of Plaza Toro.
In every daunting deed, ah, he always took the lead. Ah, that unaffected, undetected, well-connected warrior, the Duke of Plaza Toro.
When told that they would all be shot unless they left the service, that hero hesitated, not so marvelous his nervous. He sent his resignation in the first of all his quarrel. That very knowing, overflowing, easygoing paladin, the Duke of Plaza Toro.
To men of throats and clay, ah, he always took the win. Ah, that very knowing, overflowing, easygoing paladin, the Duke of Plaza Toro. That very knowing, overflowing, easygoing paladin, the Duke of Plaza Toro. To
infant son of the king of Ferretaria? The child who was stolen in infancy by the Inquisition?
The same, but of course you know his story.
Know his story? Why, I have often told you that my mother was the nurse to whose charge he was entrusted.
True, I had forgotten. Well, it has been discovered, and my father has brought me here to claim his hand.
But you will not recognize this marriage. It took place when you were too young to understand its import.
Nay, Louis, respect my principles and cease to torture me. Henceforth, my life is but another's.
But stay. The present and the future, they are another's. But the past, that at least is ours, and none can take it from us. As we may revel in naught else, let us revel in that.
I don't think I grasp your meaning.
Yet, it is logical enough. You say you ceased to love me.
I say I may not love you.
Ah, but you do not say you did not love me.
I loved you with a frenzy that words are powerless to express, and that but 10 brief minutes ago.
Exactly. My own! That is, until 10 minutes ago. My own, my lately loved, my recently adored. Tell me that until, say, a quarter of an hour ago, I was all in all to thee.
I see your idea. It's ingenious. But don't do that.
There can be no harm in reveling in the past.
None whatever, but an embrace cannot be taken back retrospectively.
Perhaps not.
We may recollect an embrace. I recollect many. But we must not repeat them.
Then let us recollect a few. Ah, Casilda, you were to me as the sun is to the earth.
Quarter of an hour ago.
Oh.
To think that, for this miserable discovery would have been my own for life.
Through life and death, a quarter of an hour ago.
How greedily my thirsty ears would have drunk the golden melody of those sweet words. A quarter, well, it's now about 20 minutes ago.
Of that, in such a matter, one cannot be too precise.
Now our love, so full of life, is but a silent, solemn memory.
Must it be so, Casilda?
Louise, it must be so.
There was a time forever gone, how woe is me. It was no crime to love but thee alone, how woe is me. One heart, one life, one soul,
your infant husband and daughter to Venice.
So, this is the little lady who is so unexpectedly called upon to assume the functions of royalty. And a very nice little lady, too.
Jim, isn't she?
Distinctly chimp. Allow me. Naughty temper.
You must make some allowance. Her Majesty's head is a little turned by her access of dignity.
I could have wished that Her Majesty's access of dignity had turned it in this direction.
Unfortunately, if I am not mistaken, there seems to be some little doubt as to His Majesty's whereabouts.
A doubt as to his whereabouts, we may yet be saved.
A doubt? Oh dear, no. No doubt at all. He is here in Venice, plying the modest but picturesque calling of a gondolier. I can give you his address. I see him every day. In the entire annals of our history, there is no circumstance so entirely free from all manner of doubt of any kind whatever. Listen, and I'll tell you all about it. I saw the prince and I brought him here and left him gaily prattling with a highly respectable gondolier who promised the royal babe to rear and teach him the trade of a time or near with his own beloved prattling. Both of the babes were strong and stout, considering all things clever. Of that there is no manner of doubt, no probable possible shadow of doubt, no possible doubt whatever.
No possible doubt whatever.
But owing I'm much disposed to fear to his terrible taste for tippling, that highly respectable gondolier could never declare with a mind sincere which of the two was his offspring dear, and which the royal stripling. Which was which he could never make out, despite his best endeavor. Of that there is no manner of doubt, no probable possible shadow of doubt, no possible doubt whatever.
No possible doubt whatever.
Time fled, and when at the end of a year I sought that infant cherished, that highly respectable gondolier was lying a corpse on his humble bier, I dropped a grand inquisitor's tear. That gondolier had perished, a taste for drink combined with gout had doubled him up forever. Of that there is no manner of doubt, no probable possible shadow of doubt, no possible doubt whatever.
No possible doubt whatever.
The children followed his old career, this statement can't be parried. Of a highly respectable gondolier, well, one of the two will soon be here. But which of the two it is not quite clear is the royal prince you married. Search in and out and round about, and you'll discover never a tale so free from every doubt, all probable possible shadow of doubt, all possible doubt whatever. A tale so free from every doubt, all probable possible shadow of doubt, all possible doubt whatever.
Then you mean to say I'm married to one of two gondoliers, but it isn't possible to say which?
Without any doubt of any kind whatever. But be reassured. The nurse to whom your husband was entrusted is the mother of that musical young man who is such a past master of that delicately modulated instrument. She can establish the king's identity beyond no question.
How did he know that?
My young friend, a grand inquisitor, is always up to date. His mother is the wife of a highly respectable and old-established brigand who carries on an extensive practice in the mountains around Cordova. Accompanied by two of my emissaries, he will set off at once for his mother's address. She will return with them, and if she has any difficulty in making up her mind, the persuasive influence of the torture chamber will jog her memory.
What bless my heart, consider my position. I am the wife of one, that's very clear. But who can tell, except my intuition, which is the prince
complications frequently occur. Life is one closely complicated tangle. Death is the only true unraveler.
Try we lifelong, we can never straighten out life's tangled skein. Why should we in vain endeavor, guess and guess again?
Life's a wonderful flux.
Cares a cake that we numbs.
Life's a pudding full of plums, cares a canker that benumbs. Wherefore waste our elocution on impossible solution? Life's a pleasant institution. Let us take it as it comes. Let us take it as it comes. Set aside the dull enigma, we shall guess it all too soon. Fill your praise, the point of stay, or rise and take our death to the turn. Spring alive and joy, lessons are string alive, fill the cup, lessons are we should song. Hop and skip through fancy's fiddle, hands across and down the middle. Life's perhaps the only riddle that we shrink from giving up. Life's perhaps the only riddle that we shrink from giving up. Then take it as it comes. Take it as it comes. Sing alive, fill the cup, less on sorrow we should sow. Take life as it comes. nothing. He can't be said to live. He exists.
What a delightful institution marriage is. Why have we wasted all this time? Why didn't we get married 10 years ago?
Because you couldn't find anybody nice enough. Because you were waiting for us.
I suppose that was the reason. We were waiting for you without knowing it.
Good morning.
If this gentleman is an undertaker, it's a bad omen.
Celebration of some sort going on?
He is an undertaker. No, a little unimportant family gathering. Nothing in your line.
Somebody's birthday, I suppose.
Yes, mine. And mine.
And mine.
And mine.
Curious coincidence. And how old may you all be?
It's a rude question. But about 10 minutes.
Remarkably fine children. But surely you are jesting.
In other words, we were married about 10 minutes ago.
Married? You don't mean to say you are married?
Oh yes, we are married.
What, both of you?
All four of us.
Bless my heart. How unfortunate.
You don't mind, I suppose. You were not thinking of either of us for yourself, I presume. Oh, just somebody look at him. He was. He's heartbroken.
No, I wasn't.
Now, my man, we don't want anything in your line today, and if your curiosity is satisfied, you can go.
You mustn't call me your man. It's a liberty. I don't think you know who I am.
Not we indeed. We are jolly Gondoliers, the sons of Battisto Palmieri, who led the last revolution. Republicans heart and soul. As we abhor oppression, we abhor kings. As we detest vainglory, we detest rank. As we despise effeminacy, we despise wealth. We are Venetian Gondoliers, your equals in everything except our calling, and in that, at once your masters and your servants.
Bless my heart, extremely awkward. One of you may be Baptisto's son, for anything I know to the contrary. But the other is no less a personage than the only son of the late King of Beretaria.
What?
And I trust it was that one who slapped me on the shoulder and called me his man.
Not brothers? Not brothers? But which is it? Which is it?
What does it matter? As you are both Republicans and hold kings in detestation, of course you'll abdicate at once. Good morning.
Oh, don't do that!
Well, as to that, of course there are kings and kings. When I say I detest kings, I mean I detest bad kings.
I see, it's a delicate distinction.
Quite so. Now, I can conceive of a kind of king, an ideal king, a creature of my fancy, you know, who would be absolutely unobjectionable. A king who would abolish taxes and make everything cheap, except gondolas.
And give a great many free entertainment to the gondoliers.
And let off fireworks on the Grand Canal and engage all the gondolas for the occasion.
And scramble money on the Rialto among the gondoliers.
Such a king would be a blessing to his people. And if I were king, that is the sort of king I would be.
And so would I.
Come, I'm glad to find your objections are not insuperable.
Oh, they're not insuperable.
No, they're not insuperable.
Besides, we are open to conviction.
Yes, they're open to conviction.
Well, they've often been convicted.
Our views may have been hastily formed on insufficient grounds. They may be crude, erroneous, ill-digested. I have a very poor opinion of a politician, not open to conviction.
Oh, he's such a fine fellow.
Yes, that's the kind of politician for my money.
Well then, we'll consider it settled. And now, as the country is in a state of insurrection, it is absolutely necessary that you should assume the reins of government at once. And until it is ascertained which of you is to be king, I have arranged that you reign jointly, so that no question can arise hereafter as to the validity of any of your acts.
As one individual?
As one individual.
Like this?
Something like that.
Oh, and we may take our friends with us and give them places among the court.
Undoubtedly, that's always done.
Oh, I'm convinced.
And so am I.
Then the sooner we're off, the better. We'll just go pack a few things.
Stop, that won't do it all. Ladies are not admitted. What would Mrs. Clinton say?
mean to say you're going to separate us from our wives?
Only for a time. A few months. After all, what is a few months?
But we've only been married half an hour. Kind sir, you cannot have the heart our lives to part from those to whom an hour ago we were united. Before our flowing homes you step a look at them, and pause before you deal this blow all uninvited. You men can never understand that heart and hand cannot be separated when we go our yearning. You see the only women's eyes to idolize in only women's hands who were meant to set you over me. You men can never understand the woman's heart is one with woman's hand.
Do not give way to this uncalled for grief. Your separation will be very brief. To ascertain which is the king and which the other, to Meredith's court I'll bring his foster mother. Her former nursling to declare she'll be delighted. That settled, let each happy pair be reunited.
Vivant, his argument is strong. Vivant will not be parted long. Vivant, it will be settled soon. Vivant, then comes our honeymoon. Vivant, vivant, vivant.
Then one of us will be a queen and sit on a golden throne, with a crown instead of a hat and her head and diamonds of her own, with a beautiful robe of gold and green. I've always understood. I wonder whether she will feather. I rather think she should.
Oh, 'tis a glorious thing, I mean to be a regular royal queen. No half and half affair, I mean no half and half affair, but a right down regular, 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 regular royal queen.
She'll drive about in a carriage and pair with the king on her left-hand side, and a milk-white horse is a matter of course, whatever she wants to ride, with beautiful silver shoes to wear upon her dainty feet, with endless stocks of beautiful frocks, and as much as she wants to eat.
Oh, 'tis a glorious thing, I mean to be a regular royal queen. No half and half affair, I mean no half and half affair, but a right down regular, 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 regular royal queen.
Whenever she condescends to walk me, she'll shine at that, with her haughty stare and her nose in the air like a well-born aristocrat. And elegant high society talk, she'll fare away the fell, with her howdy-do and her how are you, and I trust I see you well.
Oh, 'tis a glorious thing, I mean to be a regular royal queen. No half and half affair, I mean no half and half affair, but a right down regular, 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 regular royal queen.
And noble lords will scrape and bow and double themselves in two, and open their eyes in blank surprise at whatever she likes to do. And everybody will roundly bow, she's fair as flowers in May, and say how clever at whatsoever she condescends to say.
Oh, 'tis a glorious thing, I mean to be a regular royal queen. No half and half affair, I mean no half and half affair, but a right down regular, regular,
palaces, but you'll find I respect your Republican palaces. You'll find I respect your Republican palaces.
Billions and palaces, how can they respect our Republican fallacies?
For everyone who feels inclined, suppose they undertake to find congenial with this frame of mind, and all shall equal be.
The Chancellor in his park, the Earl, the Marquis, and the Duke, the groom, the butler, and the cook, they all shall equal be.
The aristocrat who banks with coots, the aristocrat who hunts and shoots, the aristocrat who breeds up boots, they all shall equal be.
The noble lord who rules the state, the noble lord who cleans the plate,
The noble lord who scrubs the grate, they all shall equal be.
the Lord High Bishop orthodox, the Lord High Coachman on the box,
The Lord High Vagabond in the stocks, they all shall equal be.
for everyone who feels inclined, suppose they undertake to find congenial with his frame of mind, congenial with his frame of mind, and all shall equal be. Sing high, sing low, wherever they go. Sing high, sing low, wherever they go. Wherever they go, wherever they go, they all shall equal be.
Sing high, sing low, wherever they go. Sing high, sing low, wherever they go. Wherever they go, wherever they go, they all shall equal be. The Earl, the Marquis, and the Duke, the groom, the butler, and the cook, the aristocrat who bears the goods, the aristocrat who cleans the books, the noble lord who rules the state, the noble lord who scrubs the grate, the Lord High Bishop orthodox, the Vagabond in the skies. For everyone who feels inclined, suppose they undertake to find congenial with this frame of mind, congenial with this frame of mind, and all shall equal be. Then hail, O King, whichever you may be. To you we sing, but do not bend our knee. Then hail, King, hail, King, hail, King.
Come, let's away. Our island crown awaits me. Conflicting feelings rend my soul apart. The thought of royal dignity elates me. But leaving thee behind me breaks my heart.
Farewell, my love, on board you must be getting. But while upon the sea you gaily roam,
time, a despotism strict combined with absolute equality, with absolute equality. Of happiness, a very vivid veritarian, you may see a monarchy that's tempered with republican equality, republican equality. Two kings of undue pride bereft to act in perfect unity, whom you can order right and left with absolute impunity, who put their subjects at their ease by doing all they can to please, and thus to earn their bread and cheese every opportunity, and thus to earn their bread and cheese every opportunity. We act in perfect unity. We act in perfect unity. Of happiness, a very pith and veritarian, you may see a monarchy that's tempered with republican equality, republican equality, tempered with equality.
Gentlemen, we are much obliged to you for your expressions of satisfaction and good feeling. I say, we are much obliged to you for your expressions of satisfaction and good feeling.
We heard you.
We are delighted at any time to fall in with sentiments so charmingly expressed.
That's all right. At the same time, there is just one little grievance that we should like to ventilate. What? Don't be alarmed. It's not serious. It's arranged that until it is decided which of us two is the actual king, we are to reign as one person. Exactly. Now, although we act as one person, we are in fact to appoint two persons.
I don't think we can go into that. It is a legal fiction. And legal fictions are solemn things. Situated as we are, we can't recognize two independent responsibilities.
No, but you can recognize two independent appetites. It's all very well to say that we should act as one person, but when you supply us with one ration between us, I should describe that as a legal fiction carried a little too far.
It's rather a nice point. I don't like to express an opinion offhand. Suppose we reserve it for argument before the full court.
Yes, but what are we to do in the meantime? We want our tea!
I think we may make an interim order for double rations. On their majesties entering into the usual undertaking to indemnify in the event of an adverse decision.
More tea? Let it be our delight and duty. Come, gentlemen.
Ours is a very pleasant existence. You don't find them wanting to do this or wanting to do that or saying, it's my turn now. No, they let us have all the fun to ourselves and never seem to grudge it.
It makes one feel quite selfish. It almost seems like we're taking advantage of their good nature.
How nice they were about the double rations.
Most considerate. There's only one thing else wanting to make us more thoroughly comfortable.
And that is?
The dear little wives we left behind us 3 months ago.
Yes, it is dull without female society. We can do without everything else, but we can't do without that.
And if we have that in perfection, we have everything. There is but one true recipe for perfect happiness. Take a pair of sparkling eyes in an ever and anon, in a mercy flowing lips. Do not heed their mouths surprise, having passed the Rubicon. Take a pair of rosy lips. Take a figure trimly clad, such as admiration wears. Be particular in this. Take a tender little hand, fringed with dainty fingerets. Press it, in parenthesis. Take
lend us his boat, and he said done, and we crossed the sea, and thank goodness that's done. And here we are, and now I'm done.
And now, which of you is king, and which of us is queen?
That we shall not know until nurse turns up. But never mind that. The question is now, how shall we celebrate the commencement of our honeymoon? Gentlemen, will you allow us to offer you a magnificent banquet?
We will!
Thank you. And ladies, what do you say to a dance?
Oh, a banquet and a dance? Oh, this is too much happiness.
Danza, cachuca, fandango, bolero, series little trick, Montanillo, Montero, why when it runs in abundance and dances, the reckless delight of that wildest of dances, to the pretty, pretty, pretty pat, and the clutchy, clutchy, clutchy pat, pitchy, pitchy, patchy, clutchy, clutchy, patchy, pitchy, pitchy, patchy, clutchy, clutchy,
To the pitchy, 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 patch, and the clutchy, 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 patch.
pitchy, 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 patchy, 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 we'll dance. Old series will drink Montanillo, Montero, for wine when it runs in abundance. Enhances the reckless delight of that wildest of dances, the wildest of dances, the reckless delight. Danza, cachuca, fandango, bolero, series will drink Montanillo, Montero, wine when it runs in abundance, enhances the reckless delight of that wildest of dances. Old series will drink Montanillo, Montero, for wine when it runs in abundance, enhances the reckless delight of that wildest of dances, the reckless delight of that wildest of
Good evening. Fancy ball?
No, not exactly. A little friendly dance, that's all. Sorry you're late.
But I saw a groom dancing, and a footman.
Oh, yes, that's the Lord High Footman.
And dear me, a common little drummer boy?
Oh no, that's the Lord High Drummer Boy.
But surely the kitchen is the place for these gentry.
Oh dear no, we have appropriated the kitchen. It's the royal apartment and accessible only by tickets obtainable at the dean's office.
We really must have some place that we can call our own.
I don't think I'm quite equal to the intellectual pressure of the conversation.
You see, the monarchy has been remodeled on republican principles.
What?
All departments rank equally and everyone is at the head of his department.
I see.
I'm afraid you're annoyed.
No, I won't say that. It's not quite what I expected.
I'm awfully sorry.
Well, so am I.
By the by, can I offer you anything after your voyage? A plate of macaroni or a pizza?
No, nothing.
Obliged to be careful?
Yes, Count. You see, in every court there are distinctions that must be observed.
There are. Are there?
Of course. For instance, you wouldn't have a Lord High Chancellor playing leapfrog with his own cook.
Why not?
Why not? Because a Lord High Chancellor is a personage of great dignity who should never, under any circumstances, place himself in the position of being told to tuck in his tuppenny, except by noblemen of his own rank. A Lord High Archbishop, for instance, might tell a Lord High Chancellor to tuck in his tuppenny. But certainly not a cook, gentlemen. Certainly not a cook.
Not even a Lord High Cook?
My young friend, that is a rank that is not recognized at the Dean's office. No, it won't do. I'll give you an instance in which the experiment was tried. There lived a king, as I've been told, in in the wonder-working days of old, when hearts were twice as good as gold, and 20 times as mellow. Good-temper triumphed in his face, and in his heart he found a place for all the erring human race, and every wretched fellow. When he had Rhenish wine to drink, it made him very sad to think that some at junket or at jig must be content with toddy.
With toddy, must be content with toddy.
He wished all men as rich as he, and he was rich as rich could be. So to the top of every tree promoted everybody.
Now that's the kind of king for me. He wished all men as rich as he. So to the top of every tree promoted everybody.
Lord Chancellors were cheap as brats, and bishops in their shovel hats were plentiful as tabby cats. In point of fact, too many. Ambassadors cropped up like hay, prime ministers and such as they grew like asparagus in May, and dukes were 3 a penny. On every side field marshals gleamed, small beer were lords, lieutenant teamed, with admirals the ocean teemed all round his wide dominions.
With admirals around his wide dominions.
And party leaders you might meet in 2s and 3s in every street, maintaining with no little heat their various opinions.
Now that's a sight you couldn't meet. 2 party leaders in each street, maintaining with no little heat their various opinions.
That king, although no one denies, his heart was of abnormal size, but he'd have acted otherwise if he had been acuter. The end is easily foretold when every blessed thing you hold is made of silver or of gold. You long for simple pewter when you have nothing else to wear but cloth of gold and satin rare. For cloth of gold you cease to care. Up goes the price of shoddy.
Of shoddy, up goes the price of shoddy.
In short, whoever you may be, to this conclusion you'll agree. When everyone is somebody, then no one's anybody.
Now that's as plain can be. To this conclusion we agree. When everyone is somebody,
Then no one's anybody. And now I have some important news to communicate. His Grace, the Duke of Plaza Toro, Her Grace the Duchess, and their beautiful daughter, Casilda. I say, their beautiful daughter, Casilda,
we heard you.
have arrived in Barataria and may be here in any moment.
The Duke and Duchess are nothing to us.
But the daughter, the beautiful daughter, you're a lucky dog, one of you.
I think you're an incomprehensible old gentleman.
Not a bit. I'll explain. Many years ago, when you, whichever you are, were a baby, you, whichever you are, were married to a little girl who has grown up to be the most beautiful young lady in Spain. That young lady will be here to claim you, whichever you are, in a little less than a half an hour. And I congratulate that one, whichever it is, with all my heart.
Married with a baby? But we were married 3 months ago.
One of you, only one. The other, whichever it is an unintentional bigamist.
Well, upon my word.
Hey? Who are these young people?
Who are we? Why, their wives, of course. We've just arrived.
Their wives? Oh dear, how unfortunate. Oh dear, this complicates matters. Dear, dear, what will Mrs. Clinton say?
Do you mean to say that one of these monarchs is already married, and that neither of us will be a queen?
That is the idea I intended to convey.
Tessa, my dear, my child.
Get away! Perhaps it's you!
Poor, poor little woman.
Don't! Who knows whose husband you are? And pray, why didn't you tell us about this before they left Venice?
Because if I had, no earthly temptation would have induced these gentlemen to leave two such extremely fascinating and utterly irresistible little ladies.
Well, there is something in that.
I may mention that you will not be kept in suspense long, as the old lady who nursed the royal child is at present in the torture chamber, waiting for me to interview her.
Poor old girl. Hadn't you better go out and get her out of her suspense?
Oh no, there's no hurry, she's all right. She has cable TV. However, I will go and interrogate her at once. And in the meantime, may I suggest the absolute propriety of your regarding yourselves as single young ladies. Good evening.
Well, isn't this a pleasant state of things?
Delightful. One of us is married to 2 young ladies and no one knows which, and the other is married to 1 young lady whom no one can identify.
And one of us is married to one of them, and the other is married to no one. But which of us is married to which of you and wants to become the other?
It's quite simple. Observe. 2 husbands have managed to acquire 3 wives. 3 wives, 2 husbands. That's 2/3 of a husband for each wife.
Oh, Mount Vesuvius, here we are in calculus. My good sir, one can't marry a vulgar fraction.
You go right to call me a vulgar fraction.
Oh, the situation is entangled. We're getting rather mixed. Let's try and comb it out.
In a contemplative fashion and a tranquil frame of mind, free from every kind of passion, some solution let us find. Let us grasp the situation, solve the complicated plot. Quiet, calm deliberation disentangles every knot. In a
Sappy way, that's of course a slice of bread. He is right under rain, still distinctly he's a duck. I have been to Cupid for no man, that is clear. He's particularly stupid, but distinctly he's a dear.
Just that I was mated, I can appreciate in a trice. Though her charms are overrated, still I know she's rather nice.
He who that young lady married to receive and refuse. She's called a silly, still she answers pretty well. She's a silly, still she answers pretty well.
Now when we were 20 babies, someone married us, that's clear.
And if I can catch her, I'll pinch her and scratch her and send her away with the flea.
That young lady married to receive or can't refuse.
I overtake her, make her to shake in her aristocratic. She's very gorgeous, and you and we will
to claim the royal hand. Proclaim their graces on ye double bases of the King who rules this goodly land. Ye brazen brasses bang.
Be so good as to inform His Majesty that His Grace, the Duke of Plaza Toro Limited, has arrived and
Demands.
demands an audience. And now, my child, prepare to receive the husband to whom you are married under such interesting and romantic circumstances.
But which is it? There are two of them.
It is true that at present your husband is a double gentleman. But as soon as the doubts of his marriage are ascertained, he will, ipso facto, boil down to a single gentleman, thus providing a unique example of an individual who becomes a single man and a married man by the same operation.
I have known instances in which the characteristics of both have been found concurrently in the same individual.
He couldn't have been a Plaza Toro.
Oh, couldn't he though?
Well, whatever happens, I shall of course be a dutiful wife, but I can never love my husband.
I don't know. It's extraordinary what unprepossessing people one can love if one puts one's mind to it.
I loved your father.
My love, that remark was a little hard, I think. Rather cruel, perhaps. Somewhat uncalled for, I venture to believe.
It was very difficult, my dear. But I said to myself, that man is a duke, and I will love him. Several of my relations said to me I couldn't, but I did. Desperately. The day when I was wedded to your admirable sire, I acknowledge that I dreaded an explosion of his ire. I was overcome with panic, for his temper was volcanic, and I didn't dare revolt, for I feared a thunderbolt. I was always very wary, for his fury was ecstatic, his refined vocabulary
shady who is listed on the stock exchange and is upon the point of declaring an extra dividend? A nobleman shady who has never commanded a premium of less than 10% since he was first floated? A nobleman shady who is regularly sought for by savings banks, trust companies, executors, widows, and
Sheriff?
and so forth, as an investment which combines unsurpassed profit with unequaled security? Oh, fie!
Your Majesty is surely unaware that directly Your Majesty's father came before the public, he was applied for over and over again.
My dear, Her Majesty's father was in the habit of being applied for over and over again, and very urgently applied for too. Ah, their Majesties! Your Majesty.
The Duke of Plazzatoro, I believe.
The same. Allow me to present
The young lady one of us married?
Gentlemen, I'm the most obedient servant to one of you. Oh, who is?
And now I am about to address the young man whom my daughter married. The other may allow his attention to wander if he likes, for what I am about to say does not concern him. Sir, you will find in this young lady a combination of excellences, which you would search for in vain in any young lady who had not the good fortune to be my daughter. There is some doubt as to which of you is the one I am addressing and which is allowing his attention to wander. But when that doubt is ascertained, I shall say, still addressing the attentive gentleman, take her, and may she make you happier than her mother has made me. If possible. And now there's a little matter to which I think I am entitled to take exception. I come here in state with Her Grace the Duchess and Her Majesty my daughter, and what do I find? Do I find, for example, a guard of honor to receive me? No.
No.
The town illuminated? No.
No.
Refreshment provided? No.
No.
Triumphal arches erected? No.
No.
A royal salute fired? No.
No.
The bell set ringing?
No.
Yes. One. The doorbell. And I rang it myself. It is not enough. It is not enough.
Upon my honor, I'm very sorry, but you see, I was brought up in a gondola, and my ideas of politeness are confined to taking off my cap to my passengers when they tip me.
It's all very well in its way, but it is not enough.
I'll take off anything else in reason.
But a royal salute to my daughter, it costs so little.
Papa, I don't want a salute.
My dear sir, as soon as we know which of us is entitled to take that liberty, she shall have as many salutes as she likes.
As for guards of honor and triumphal arches, you don't know our people. They wouldn't stand for it.
They are very offhand with us, very offhand indeed.
Oh, you mustn't allow that. You must keep your people in proper disciplines. You want to impress your court with your importance. You want deportment, carriage.
Well, we've got a carriage.
Manner, dignity. There must be a good deal of this sort of thing. And a little of this sort of thing. Or possibly just a soupçon.
Oh,
What song?
A soupçon, French word. Saw you in the park this morning, you little heart killer.
Saw you in the park this morning, you little heart killer.
Oh, it's very useful and most effective. Just attend to me. You are a king, I am a subject. Very good. I am
was combined of who's imperious with a demeanor nobly grand.
That's if anything too unbending, too aggressively stiff and grand. Now to the other extreme you're tending, don't be so deucedly condescending.
Now to the other extreme you are tending, don't be so dreadfully condescending.
Oh, hard to please some noblemen seem, at first if anything too unbending. Off we go to the other extreme, too confoundedly condescending.
Now a gavotte perform sedately, offer your hand with conscious pride. Take an attitude not too stately, still sufficiently dignified.
Now for an attitude not too stately, still sufficiently dignified.
Oncely, twicely, bow impressively ere you glide. Capital both, you caught it nicely. That is the style of a thing precisely.
Capital both, you caught it nicely. That is the style of being precisely.
Oh, sweet to earn a nobleman's praise. Capital both, we caught it nicely. Supposing he's right in what he says, this is the style of things precisely.
Capital both, we caught it nicely. That is the style of being precisely.
This is the style of things, the style of things precisely. The old birds have gone away and left the young chickens together. That's called tact.
It's very awkward. We really ought to tell her how we are situated. It's not fair to the girl.
Then why don't you do it?
I'd rather not. You!
Madam, that is, several of us have-
Gentlemen, it is right to tell you that not knowing I was married in infancy, I'm over head and ears in love with someone else.
Our case exactly. We are over head and ears in love with somebody else. In point of fact, with our wives.
Then you are married?
It's not our fault.
We know nothing about it.
We are sisters in misfortune.
My good souls, I don't blame you. Only before we go any further, we must really arrive at some satisfactory arrangement, or we shall get hopelessly complicated.
Here's a case of precedented king and queen is done. Ever since marriage was first invented, never was known a case so hard. I may be said to have been bisected by a profound catastrophe.
Through a calamity unexpected, I am divisible into three.
I may be said to have been bisected.
I am divisible into three. Through a calamity, I am divisible into three.
A moralist soul, how can you call marriage a stage of unity?
When excellent husbands are bisected, wives are divisible into three.
A moralist soul, how can you call marriage a stage of unity? Unity.
Moralist all, how can you call marriage a stage of unity?
Moralist soul, how can you call marriage a stage of unity? Marriage a stage of union, true and that of myself, as married to birds of me. Are you?
the loyal lieges gather round. The prince's foster mother has been found. She will declare to silver clarion sound the rightful king. Let him forthwith be crowned.
She will declare to silver clarion sound the rightful king. Let him forthwith be crowned.
Speak, woman, speak.
We're all attention.
The news received this moment is shot to
His foster mother.
He the king.
For this my brother.
Speak, woman, speak! Speak, woman, speak!
The royal prince was by the king entrusted to my fond care. Ere I grew old and crossed, when traitors came to steal his son reputed, my own small boy I terribly substituted. The villains fell into the trap completely. I hid the prince away, still sleeping sweetly. I called him son with pardonable slyness. His name Louis. Behold his royal highness.
Situation. This statement we receive with sentiments conflicting, our hearts rejoice and grieve.